Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to awaken you. Every challenge, heartbreak, and betrayal you've ever faced was not punishment, but preparation. You see, most people live their entire lives trying to avoid pain. They chase comfort, they run from difficulty, and they numb their emotions with distraction. But the truth is, pain is the universe's greatest sculptor. It shapes you, it molds you, and it strips away everything that isn't truly you. The people who create extraordinary lives are not the ones who've had it easy. They are the ones who learn to use pain as a weapon for growth. When you stop asking, "Why me?" and instead ask, "What is this trying to make of me?" your entire life begins to shift. The moment you look your pain in the eye and choose to face it, you take back your power. Because pain is energy. It's raw, unfiltered, emotional energy. When you harness that energy and direct it into something meaningful, you create transformation. Think about it. The same fire that burns a forest to the ground can also forge the strongest steel. It's not the fire's fault, it's how you use it. If you let your pain consume you, it will destroy you. But if you choose to control it, to learn from it, to grow through it, it becomes your greatest source of strength. You don't need to escape your pain. You need to transform it. Because within every wound lies the seed of your power, and when you water it with purpose, it grows into unstoppable potential. You cannot build greatness in comfort. Every person you admire, every world changer, leader, or visionary, was forged in the fire of pain. Comfort is seductive, but it kills progress. Growth demands discomfort, and transformation requires sacrifice. When life breaks you open, it's not cruelty, it's opportunity. The breaking point is where the old version of you dies and the new version is born. Pain exposes the truth. It reveals who you are when everything else is stripped away. When you hit rock bottom, you discover that you're stronger than the world ever gave you credit for. That's why pain is not something to avoid. It's something to master. When you learn to dance with pain instead of fight it, you gain power over your life. You start to realize that every scar tells a story, and every struggle writes a chapter of resilience. The difference between people who rise and those who stay stuck is not luck, it's perspective. The strong choose to turn their wounds into wisdom, while the weak replay their pain until it defines them. The world doesn't reward those who complain about their suffering. It celebrates those who transform it into progress. So when you face pain, don't shrink, expand. Don't ask, "How can I make this stop?" Ask, "How can I make this matter?" Because in that moment, pain stops being your enemy. It becomes your greatest ally. Purpose is born when pain meets meaning. You were not created to suffer without reason. Every struggle you faced was preparing you to contribute something powerful to the world. Your pain is the raw material of your purpose. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to decide that your struggles will serve something greater than yourself. Maybe you went through heartbreak so you could help others love themselves again. Maybe your failures were the lessons that would one day inspire someone else to rise. When you take your pain and attach meaning to it, you reclaim control of your life. The very moment you say, "This will not be wasted," everything changes. Every great story of transformation is a story of pain transformed into purpose. Look at the people who've changed the world. They didn't just endure suffering, they used it. They found power in their wounds and built legacies from their lessons. Your pain can be the bridge between your past and your destiny. You have two choices. Let it keep you chained to who you were, or let it push you toward who you're meant to be. When you make your suffering mean something, it no longer drains you. It drives you. That's what purpose does. It gives your pain direction, it gives your life energy, and it turns your weakness into unstoppable strength. Inside every human being burns a fire, a flame of spirit, strength, and hunger that pain constantly tries to extinguish. Pain whispers lies in your ear, that you're not enough, that you've failed, that you'll never rise again. But when you stop believing those lies and start seeing pain for what it really is, a test, a teacher, a purifier, everything begins to change. Pain doesn't come into your life to punish you. It comes to shape you. It's the universe asking, how bad do you want to grow? And who will you become when life stops going your way? Most people let pain close their hearts. They harden, they retreat, they build walls. But the ones who find greatness, the ones who make impact, are the ones who let pain open them instead of shutting them down. They let it crack them wide open so the light can get in. When you embrace what hurt you, you stop being its prisoner. Pain can either poison you or purify you, depending on how you respond. Every heartbreak, betrayal, and disappointment carries a message, but most people are too focused on escaping pain to hear it. They run from it, numb it, or pretend it's not there. Yet pain, unacknowledged, becomes your master. Pain embraced becomes your mentor. It teaches you empathy, resilience, and courage, the raw materials of an unstoppable life. When you face your pain and say, "I will learn from you," something magical happens. You take back control. Suddenly, your scars stop defining your weakness and start revealing your wisdom. You realize you've survived 100% of your worst days, and you are still here, breathing, growing, evolving. That's not weakness. That's power in motion. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you tell the world a story that pain cannot destroy you. It can bruise you, yes. It can break you open, yes. But it cannot defeat the human spirit unless you surrender to it. When you look at the people who inspire you most, you'll notice something they all share. Not a lack of pain, but mastery over it. They learned to convert pain into power, fear into fuel, and loss into legacy. They realized that life's darkest moments were the training ground for their brightest purpose. It's not what happens to you that defines you. It's what you decide to do with what happens to you. You were never meant to live as a victim of your story. You were meant to become the author of it. Pain is just a chapter, not the whole book. You can rewrite your story at any time by changing what your pain means to you. When you stop saying, "This broke me," and start saying, "This built me," the world around you starts to shift. Because the energy you project, strength, courage, resilience, becomes magnetic. People are drawn to those who've turned their suffering into significance. Your pain can be the bridge that connects you to others who need your strength. You can become the light that helps someone else find their way out of their own darkness. And that is where true power begins, when your pain no longer controls you, but fuels your compassion. When you realize that every scar is not a mark of shame, but a medal of survival. You didn't just make it through. You transformed through it. Pain was never the end of your journey. It was the beginning of your greatness. Because inside that very fire that tried to break you lies the unstoppable force that will now drive you forward. You are not your wounds. You are the warrior who rose from them. Life doesn't give you pain to destroy you. It gives it to awaken you. Because here's the truth. Without pain, you'd stay the same. Without struggle, you'd never grow. Without heartbreak, you'd never discover what love truly is. Pain is life's way of shaking you awake and saying, "There's more in you than you're living right now." Every one of us will face moments that bring us to our knees. Moments where everything we thought was certain collapses. But those moments are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of your transformation. You can look at your pain and see a prison, or you can see a platform. That choice defines your destiny. The same fire that burns one person to ashes can forge another into steel. What makes the difference is not the fire, or it's your response. Pain comes to everyone. But suffering? That's optional. Suffering is what happens when you resist the lesson inside the pain. When you fight reality, you lose, always. But when you surrender to growth, when you say, "This will not destroy me, it will develop me," the pain begins to serve you instead of break you. Every painful moment of your life has meaning, even if you can't see it yet. That heartbreak that ripped you apart. It was teaching you to love deeper, to love wiser. That failure that crushed your confidence. It was teaching you humility, resilience, creativity. That rejection that made you question your worth. It was redirecting you toward something greater, something aligned with who you really are. Pain is never random. It's purposeful. It's a teacher that shows up disguised as chaos. And if you're willing to listen, it will reveal your power. Look back at your life. Think of the hardest thing you've ever gone through, the thing that once made you say, "I'll never recover from this." But you did recover, didn't you? You're still standing. You're breathing. You're learning. You're growing. That means the pain didn't win. You did. You turned survival into strength. And that's the beauty of it. Pain can destroy the weak, but it defines the strong. It brings you to a crossroads where you must decide, do I let this end me or do I let this begin me? You see, purpose doesn't come from comfort. Nobody finds their calling sitting in luxury. Purpose is born in the fire. It's born in sleepless nights, in heartbreak, in loss, in the moments you thought your life was over. It's in those moments that your soul screams louder than your pain and says, there's more for me. I'm not done. That's when you find who you truly are. Pain doesn't just test you. It introduces you to yourself. Think about every person who's changed the world. Every leader, healer, innovator. Do you think they had it easy? No. They were broken, just like you. They cried, they failed, they fell apart. But they refused to let pain become the full story. They turned it into fuel. Nelson Mandela turned prison into purpose. Oprah turned trauma into transformation. Tony Robbins himself turned hunger and abuse into an obsession to help millions. These people didn't escape pain, they used it. They looked at their wounds and said, you will not define me, you will drive me. That's how purpose is born, when you stop hiding your pain and start harnessing it. You are no different. You are not broken. You are being built. Every challenge that has ever scarred you was secretly shaping you. Life was chiseling away everything that wasn't strong enough to carry your destiny. You had to lose some people. You had to fail. You had to hurt, because comfort would have made you soft, and you were born to be strong. Your pain was the doorway to your evolution. And I want you to understand something powerful. Your pain isn't just for you. It's for others. When you rise, you give others permission to rise. When you tell your story, someone else finds courage to face theirs. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs real ones. It needs people who've been through hell and came back carrying light. You are that person. The pain you've lived is not meaningless. It's medicine. You've been through it so you can heal others who are still in it. That's how you turn pain into unstoppable purpose. You transform what once broke you into a gift that serves the world. So stop waiting for your pain to fade before you live your life. Stop saying, when I'm healed, I'll start. No, start now. Move now. Live now. The healing comes through motion, not through waiting. You will not heal by sitting in the ashes of what was. You heal by building what will be. Every step you take forward, every act of courage, every moment you choose love over fear. That's how you transform pain into purpose. Life will always test you. There will always be another challenge, another disappointment, another loss. But the difference now is, you know who you are. You know what you're made of. You've already proven that pain can't break you. You've already walked through fire and survived. So what could possibly stop you now? Nothing. Because once you've learned to use your pain as fuel, you become unstoppable. Pain doesn't scare you anymore. It empowers you. It becomes your compass, guiding you toward your true mission. You stop asking, why me? And start declaring, try me. You are not your wounds. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are the strength that was born from surviving it. You are the wisdom that grew from walking through it. You are the fire that refused to go out when everything around you burned. That's who you are. You're not the victim. You're the victory. And from this day forward, let every scar remind you, you didn't just survive your pain, you transformed it. You took what was meant to destroy you and made it your driving force. That is what it means to live with unstoppable purpose. You turned pain into power, fear into fire, and struggle into strength. That's who you've always been, and that's who you'll always be.